Welcome to The Vibrant Couple. Today I've invited my friend Laurel Jeffrey, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist, to talk about imago therapy. It is no secret that all couples have conflict. Actually, absence of conflict is typically a bad sign that you have fallen into roommate with very low, if no benefits. We want to demonstrate the dialogue, but before we do that, what is the big umbrella of imago therapy?
Imago therapy was developed by Harville Hendrix and his wife Helen Hunt, and it's a relationship-based approach that views intimate partnerships as a powerful opportunity for healing. It's based on the idea that we are drawn to partners who reflect our early attachment experiences, which, can really cause a lot of conflict and intensity in the relationship. And Imago offers structured tools like what we're going to talk about today, which is the Imago Dialogue, to help couples slow down, feel heard, and turn disconnection into deeper connection. All right, Valdo, let's do a test. Let's see if you remember what Imago Dialogue is.
Okay, so if I remember well, there are three parts. One is mirroring, in which basically we paraphrase what the other said so that our partner feels heard. Yeah, perfect. So the second is validation, in which we validate our partner's point of view. So this is not saying you're right. This is about just saying, from your point of view, what I'm hearing makes sense logically and emotionally. Wonderful. And then the third one is empathy, in which basically we open our hearts to each other by talking more in depth about feelings and needs. The role play that Laurel and I want to get into is a composite of couples that we've been working with over the years. So Laurel and I are going to pretend we are a 20-year couple. We had great sex at the beginning, like most couples, and then sex life has dwindled. And so we still have sex, but from my point of view, it's infrequent and it is always me inviting, and I'm frustrated, and I've brought that again and again and again and again and again to Laurel with no resolution. So let's see if Imago Dialogue can bring to listening to each other deeper and a resolution. Laurel, you and I've talked so many times. I'm frustrated. I want more sex. And even more importantly, I don't want to be the one always initiating. It almost I often feel rejected. I feel rejected too much by you.
So, what I hear you say, Valdo, is that you want more sex and that you often feel really rejected by me. Um, and did I get it all? It feels like I might have missed something in there, perhaps.
So you're getting me. It was interesting because halfway through, I started breathing deeper. Yeah, I feel heard. So yes, so the rejection is the biggest part.
Feel rejection when, when you're always the one initiating.
Yeah.
Was there more to that?
Yeah, there is more. Thank you for asking. I feel rejected when the burden is on me, and also when you and I have relationships that go no, or conflicts that go nowhere.
So, in addition to feeling rejected by me not initiating, you also, really are unhappy when there's a conflict that seems to go nowhere to you.
Yeah, there feels that there is no hope for a more fulfilling sexual life between you and I.
At least kind of feeling hopeless about, thinking that there is going to be a possibility of a good sex life for us.
Yeah.
So that was great mirroring. And now we're on to step 2, which is validation.
So are you saying I'm right?
Validation is not about right. It's just about making sure that you feel heard. Right?
Right?
Right.
So, what does validation look like?
In validation, I might say, that makes sense that you feel that way, Valdo. Knowing you as I do, which I do, that makes a lot of sense that you would feel rejected when I don't initiate.
So we just slip back into our role play. Thank you for acknowledging that from my point of view, what you're hearing makes sense.
I might ask if there's more. Is there more that you need from me to understand about why you feel that way?
You know, there is such a difference between the first 2 years of being married together, in which there was a lot of sex and, was wild and fun and playful, and now it's, once in a blue moon. And so I'm still in that, I haven't grieved that yet.
Makes a lot of sense too. Still kind of looking back to that time in our life when it was really playful and fun, and that we don't have that, and that you've sort of missed that grieving process. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Step three is about empathy, and it's really about understanding what your partner might be emotionally going through and then sort of checking it out. I imagine that in addition to feeling rejection, you might also be feeling loneliness, and you might also feel that a longing for that way that we used to be, and for me to be initiating again. Was there more?
So, yes, I do feel lonely. And if I go deep, that loneliness is because it's all on me. Um, but it's also because sexual intimacy is one of the ways I feel the most loved by you. And so when it is something that I have to push, beg, manipulate, coerce, whatever those would be, and I have to push and push and push, and it feels like it's, pity sex or, that doesn't work for me.
Pushing, that feeling of you are in charge, that you have to do all the work. And that's the way that you connect. And one of the ways that you really connect is through sexual intimacy.
Yeah, because once in a while you and I have great sex, and this is so wonderful, and I feel deeply loved, and you look so different for 3 days, and I had to beg for it. So somehow, WTF, why is it that it's always on me?
So you're confused, it sounds like, too, that why is it always on you? And why can't I sometimes be the one who's really showing you and demonstrating my desire for you?
So I'm confused, I'm alone, I'm pissed, and my need for mutuality is not met here. Laurel, something very interesting happened. I feel that I better understand you, in which often you tell me, Valdo, don't problem solve before I'm ready. So now I feel really heard and validated and deeply felt by you. Now I want to problem solve. So are you good with, now what? What can we basically, what solutions can we create from that wonderful dialogue?
I think the dialogue is a nice jumping off place, right? So now we can talk about,
Mhm.
okay, I heard you, you have frustrations, you have longing. What do we do about it now?
Yeah. It's interesting to see how my usual request feels a little flat right now. And basically, which is, Laurel, please initiate sex once in a while. And so I am not saying no to that, but it feels that there is something deeper at play here. So, where I'm at is I'm noticing how much burden I have put on you with my striving and striving and striving and pushing for more sex. And so, what I'm realizing is what I really want is for you to remember spontaneously how much you like it when we have good sex without having me to prod. And so I know you have a responsive desire. I have no question about that. I know it's still on me most of the time to initiate sex. But what I would love is when I initiate sex for you to remember, oh yes, I do like when we have really good sex.
Like me to remember, sort of have that remembrance of liking really good sex. Did I?
S- So yes, but do you really like when we have good sex?
I mean, I do. I think it's just sometimes I don't think about it. I get too busy or wrapped up in something or exhausted from work or something. And so I do appreciate you initiating as much as you do. And I'm hearing
Okay.
from our conversation that it would be very meaningful to you.
So I'm seeing here is how we could go into an Imago dialogue about you, in which I could mirror how busy you are and how you don't listen, and I would validate from your point of view how busy your life is and how you don't think about sex naturally and that this is normal. And then I would empathize how frustrated when I come to you wanting sex, when you basically are into, the chaos of your life. So we could do that and we can go into the next now what. And so let's play with our two now whats at the same time. How can I invite you to sex in a way that invites you to remember how much you love sex once you get in the mood? So what can I do to somehow get you in the mood quicker so that it's not me pushing and shoving and having the impression that I have a big wheelbarrow to go uphill for 5 miles, with a dead body in my wheelbarrow.
Simmering. I think if you started in the morning and you maybe came behind me, and I knew that we were both going to work, so there wouldn't be any time to have it, right? But that
Mhm.
you kind of set it up, and then maybe you sent a text message during the day. So it was kind of throughout the day. I call that simmering. So I'd be kind of simmering throughout the day, thinking about it. But it wouldn't feel like a lot of pressure initially. It would just feel like the pressure was kind of building up, but really not even pressure so much, just desire. And so, not, yeah. So, no expectation, but just kind of flirty fun.
So basically, building emotional tension, building sexual tension,
Yep.
and sounds like I'm making the mistake that most men do. I want sex and I want it now, versus somehow building the mystery of, starting in the morning to somehow have sex tonight.
Yeah, that would feel good to me.
Hmm.
And then also, if there was no expectation, that if the night came and I was really tired, maybe you just gave me a back rub. Maybe you just kissed me sweetly on my cheeks. Something like that.
Got it. Got it. So no expectation. Yeah, because when I come to you wanting sex and sulking because I usually don't have it, I'm pretty sure it doesn't feel good to you. Okay. Okay. So on my end, it looks like the learning is, and thank you for this wonderful two-way Imago dialogue. It's basically build emotional and sexual tension and mystery and intrigue throughout the day. And then on your end, remembering quicker that you do indeed love sex when we both get in the mood and both take the time and both have a wonderful lovemaking session. If you're still watching this video, I'm assuming that you enjoyed this role play between Laurel and I. Laurel, please summarize the key benefits of Imago Dialogue.
Absolutely. So, at Imago Dialogue, sexual intimacy, as you saw, there were some struggles, and it was approached through safety, curiosity, and connection. When people feel seen and understood, change becomes possible. And remember, it's not about negotiation or problem solving, it's really just about making sure that the other person is being heard.
One of the things I'm noticing in addition to that, and feeling heard and feeling seen and feeling loved, is that our usual conversations are negative. You don't give me this. You don't give me enough sex. You don't do that. And then on your end is you give me too much sex. You want too much sex. This is a place where you and I were both curious about each other. And basically we turned the usual negativity into, seeking positively for each other. And so is there something in imagotherapy in which we seek that positivity?
Yes, in fact, zero negativity is one of the tenets of Imago therapy.
How about Laurel? We do a video on this. I think it would benefit many couples.
Do too.
Stay tuned.